Yes, sir. Clink 'em. Let's go. New Warriors. Come out to play. We're hurrying up because we're old, gentlemen, Jarrod and I believe Matlock comes on right before the evening show. Yes. So we've got to hurry up for that. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Come Out to Play, a New Warriors podcast. If you're listening to this via YouTube, please like it. This show that you're listening to. Please subscribe to the Longbox Crusade Network. We'd appreciate it. I'm Delvin. That's Jarrod. A comic foil is a Murder, She Wrote guy himself. I think Pat's a Murder, She Wrote guy. Didn't Pat watch all of Murder, She Wrote?
You're thinking of me, but yeah. I know I watched them all. I don't know if Pat's finished them or not.
You watched them all too?
I did.
Miranda, I'm pretty sure, watched a whole bunch of Murder, She Wrote as well. But, you know, in that she is a woman that exists today. She likes watching programs where people get offed. I don't really understand that about today's woman. You know, it's like, oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to watch this documentary about how somebody got hacked to bits. It's like, why? It's so morbid.
All right.
Anyway.
This is live tech support going on here. Okay, I don't know if there was a glitch in the Matrix with StreamYard or if you pulled a Jason while you were in there, but we have two live streams going on right now, like simultaneously.
I see that. Like they gave me like there's like some option of where it records two ways now. So it's not a StreamYard glitch. It's how they recommended it. Like it could go horizontal and vertical.
Oh, so one's a horizontal feed and one's a vertical feed, I guess, maybe. All right. Well, I was going to kill the one because we have one that has no viewers. Like I could see, I'm looking at YouTube and I can see where we have two live streams going at once. But okay, I'll leave it alone. No sense in clicking anything at this point.
I don't know if Matt Passo has like any like inside gouge or whatever. You know what? I was going to apologize for using the term inside gouge, but it's Veterans Day. Matt says it's a feature. And so
I see it now. Yeah, because now the double comment, we can see who's watching on mobile. Oh, okay. Because when I commented, one of them has the mobile icon next to it. The other one doesn't. Looks like Kathy's on mobile. Matt's on mobile.
Yeah, we're even seeing things different. Like we're seeing the ats instead of the names, like a comic foil. You know?
Yeah, it creeps me out because it's different, and I don't like change, and I don't like it.
It is different. Jarrod does not like it. Hello to Bot Boy Versus, who says hello LBC crew and everyone. Hello.
Hey, Bot Boy.
Kathy is very gracious and says, wait, nope, that's not her comment. Here, she says, thank you for your service, fellas. It seems so long ago. Good salute, Jarrod, at ease. And yeah, like we can, yeah. Man, my aunt sent me a picture today of my granddad, who was a World War II veteran that I had not seen before. And I'm like, why am I just seeing this now? But like, I mean, he was such a handsome young man back in 1945, just seeing him in the uniform. Good God, that was 80 years ago. It did bring a smile on my face. So
I'll tell you what.
Man.
Yeah. I had lunch with fellow veteran Grant Potts this weekend. And we laughed about how like when we were lieutenants in our 20s, like the lieutenant colonels seem so old, and we're older than they are now. And then that's when we realized too they weren't that old, and they weren't all that much smarter than we were.
No. I remember when I was at two SOPs, and again, like I will let these civilians know, SOPs is Space Operations Squadron. I was in two SOPs, and I'm sitting there on the operationals floor and doing my job, and I'm sitting there looking at a couple of captains have a conversation. I'm a second lieutenant. I'm like, I wonder what captains talk about, like, is this advanced talk, fast forward like 5-6 years, like, no, the same idiot comments and jokes that we did when we were idiot second lieutenants just in a slightly older body.
Just so our listeners know that on that operations floor for Space Ops, Delvin worked on the guidance system.
The guidance system.
That is a deep cut for our listeners out there. Let us know if you got that in the chat.
And since we're going there, I introduced myself. I introduced yourself. Do you have a question for me for this particular episode, this particular program that we're doing?
Of course I do. I have a question for you. And since we've done a lot of veterans chat already, it's a simple question. You're not going to have to dig deep on this one.
Okay.
No pun intended, I guess. Anyway, this issue features NAMOR.
Mm-hmm.
So who is your favorite aquatic-based superhero?
Good
I mean,
Lord.
It kind of comes down between Namor and Aquaman, I think. But, I mean, there's Tempest and Namorita, so whatever.
Yeah, none of them count, right?
Hydro Man is kind of a cool villain.
That's true. That's true. Morris Bench is his name. Like, why somebody came with that, and why I remembered it, I have no idea. We have talked about Morris in Amazing Spider-Man.
We have.
Yeah, we sure have.
He combined with Sandman, didn't they? Make Mudman and
yes,
I remember that.
Yeah, they made that monstrosity of a creature. Yeah, that's right. If I had to, I'd say it's probably Namor, in that they have gone out of their way to give Namor a lot of depth. Like, he does have his anger, but he does have his regalness as well. We've seen a couple of sides of him in the pages of New Warriors already, to where sometimes, he's kind of been that chilled, relaxed Namor that was kind of a mentor to Namorita / Chimera.
I have thoughts on that tonight.
And now, we see the more imperious Rex side. We've seen, I've read pages of Uncanny X-Men where he has been on the side of the mutants as well. And he's also been in has Namor ever been an Avenger? If he's not been...
Yes, I'm pretty sure he was. I want to say late 80s. That's my memory of it. But people in the chat, help me out.
Yeah, please do. And so in a sense, he kind of reminds me of that any wrestler that does a good job as a face and a heel. You get what I'm saying? Hulk
Hogan did that. He healed, and he was the face of WWE. He's like the first example that popped in my head. Of course, I don't have the wrestling pedigree that you do.
And see, the first one I thought of was Chris Jericho. And because they can play that good guy that people want to cheer, but if they turn, then they play that bad guy you don't hate. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, one of the biggest feathers in Namor's cap is that he, at least for a time being, took down Wakanda, which had never been defeated before. And that's I think him and T'Challa still have beef over that. I ain't never going to forget that.
Yeah. You know what? We brushed up on that. And was it a Crusade Miss? I want to say John Ringer brought it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Namor was doing some stuff in Wakanda. And yeah, I remember that now.
Mm-hmm.
Champions issue, I think. Champions.
Maybe. And then he's been a part of, I think he was a part of the Illuminati as well. Dude has,
right.
he has been diverse. He has been a big character in the Marvel Universe. So I'll go with Namor. Who do you think? Are you with Namor too, or do you have a surprise?
Yeah.
Okay. No.
Why not Namor? No, I love Namor. I have a full run of the issues that are about to get sent to get hardbound. Although I'm trying to find a replacement copy for my 54 as a tear in it. So some of our people in the chat are actively seeking 54 for me out in the wild, and I appreciate y'all. We will find it, and I will get this thing hardbound. But yeah, Namor. I mean, Aquaman, he's had his moments and all that, and Tempest from Teen Titans, sure.
Yeah, Tempest / Aqualad, right?
Yeah, but I like you. I feel like Namor is the more interesting of them all. He has many faceted, and he's just interesting.
And we forgot Jeremy Swimming Bear, the sea urchin.
Yes. And I am vindicated. Thanks to Comic Foil says Namor was an Avenger during Stern's run. There you go.
Yep, dealt with some issues with his wife Marina, and of course Kathy Says Momo is like, we're talking about water-based heroes not dying of thirst, Kathy. Come on now.
I see what you did there. Very clever.
Oh man. All right, let us get started. I'm not looking at the script right now. I'm looking at a bunch of New Warriors covers. Let me move the script over. Here we go. Come Out to Play is a chronicling of the 1990 series, The New Warriors. Hopefully you know that by now. The first volume of New Warriors ran 75 issues. We will cover all of this first volume as I rediscover my love for this series, help others find theirs, share love and joy with the listening audience. Grab your skateboards and bucket helmets. It is time to play. Today, we are talking about New Warriors issue 57, which you see on the screen. And cover credits go to Mike Manley of Dark Hawk fame. Dark Hawk.
Okay.
Welcome to Eric Porter to the chat. Jarrod, it's not like you haven't done this before, but are you going to describe the cover? Do you do that here? I forgot.
I don't know. Maybe. Sure.
Look at it. Look at it. It's right there.
It's right there, especially if you're in that handheld version. It takes up the whole screen. I was just looking at that. But anyways, this one's got a bit of interesting going on in a different ways. Not only is it Mike, is it Mike Manley? Mike Manley, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Mike Manley, who doesn't normally draw the covers here, although I was not here for issue 56. It was you and Matt, so I can't say for sure. I don't think he did, though. I feel like I brought the cover image in before that for you guys, and I didn't remember. Anyway, so not only is it him, but we've also gotten away from the trading card border, and that might have happened last issue too. But we're well away from that. There's no trading card. In fact, this drawing really pushes the entirety of the cover. It is what we in the art print business, little inside baseball for you here, call full bleed. So it's a full bleed cover. It goes out to every corner of the cover. Even the corner box is minimal. It's not even really a box. It's just the logo with Speedball over the triangular 57 across the top. It says it's NAMOR versus the New Warriors. Very clever. The New Warriors isn't in such a bold font. It's basically the same size font as the NAMOR, and they do use the NAMOR font from the 90s book. So it's interesting that it's almost like, it almost feels like one of those books that would have been a NAMOR book or a New Warriors book, but it's a New Warriors book. So your main cover action has NAMOR, and he's lifting Rage up over his head. There's flames in the background. Nova looks defeated. Firestar looks defeated. Speedball looks defeated. Justice looks defeated. Turbo. I'm never going to get it. Turbo looks defeated. There's some machinery going on. And it says, guess who wins? And it looks like basically Namor's just thrashing the New Warriors. And some things that I think are interesting about it is we're clearly moving more into the digital coloring age. You can see the gradients much more on his skin now. The gradients in the backgrounds of the purple and the clouds. And yeah, that's about it.
Don't say Namor thrashes. It's too soon, Jarrod.
Oh, right.
We'll get into that. Cover. It's a good cover. This is if you like Namor and or the Warriors, you would get this because I mean it's a well drawn cover. I always liked Mike Manley's artwork. I always thought that he drew kind of a gritty style. That was kind of I think one of the things that they were trying to go for. Dark Hawk back in the day is to make him kind of a gritty level street hero, of which now given that Dark Hawk came out in early to mid 90s to what he is now, which is like a completely cosmic space hero. Like they did an absolute 180 on his scope from like just being the New York City person who was rivaling with Hobgoblin to now doing whatever the heck. I think he's going to be a part of the Guardians of the Galaxy, but don't quote me because for whatever reason, when it comes to books, like I never collected too many water-based books. I don't think out of the about 15,000 comic books that I have, I don't think I have like less than 5 would be something like Namor or Aquaman. I have plenty of Teen Titans though. And again, sure enough, I'm trying to think of any storyline that had Aqualad in it or Tempest that I cared about. Can't think of any.
I'm kind of there with you. I've only come to the Namor in recent years. Up until maybe 2 years ago, no Aqua-based heroes for me either.
Yeah, but you know what? That said, there's a reason that Namor is around, and he clearly has a popularity. There's a reason that they keep letting him or bringing him about in books, because people still think that there's stories to tell with him, and that he is an interesting enough character to do so, just like we described. So yeah, Namor is a pull. There's a reason that they have him front and center, and he is a credible enough foe that if he's on one, he could take out the entirety of the Warriors. Even though it's interesting, the person that he's holding up is Rage, like probably the pure strength guy on the team, and like ragdolling him. And so and Rage is, as we discovered in the book, not even a part of this fight. So, and to answer your question, last issue's cover was, I think, the last cover that's going to be drawn by Richard Pace. I think moving forward from this book, we'll see Patrick Zurcher taking over the cover capabilities. Serpy Matt is saying that he immediately misses the trading card border, that he liked it. I remember it kind of was mixed reviews with you. I liked it because I thought it gave the New Warriors books their own feel. And that seems to be a thing that they were doing at the time, but they clearly have gone away from it. And Matt also adds, I'm guessing the Warriors win. Rage is just patting Namor on the shoulder, giving him a good attempt, buddy. Yeah, that's good. And Eric is rating the cover, but I'm not gonna say that rating yet. Like, I'm gonna give everyone else an opportunity to give their rating or this cover rating while Jarrod and I discuss ours. I'll screw it. I'll say it. Eric Porter gave it a 10. He says, who doesn't want to buy this issue? I mean, I can't say that I didn't, because I bought it. as you know, Jarrod was describing it. I still got my Warriors 57 right here, baby. So I bought it. I was interested. Comic Foil adds, the 70s Submariner series was solid. Burns' 90s Namor run was top-notch. Man of two worlds and all that. The character definitely has more to mine.
Yes.
So yeah, they've done some interesting stuff with them. Let's rate the book, Jarrod. 1 to 10 nightsticks. What are we going to rate it? I'm staring at it. The cover's well drawn. It gives a good tease to the book. I mean, it's clear they told Namor to go crazy with it. Mike Manley to go crazy with it. Mike Manley is a solid name. Not like Axe Diesel, Jarrod, but good nonetheless. Like, what can be, right? I'm at an 8. Very good cover. Very good, very enjoyable. I would pick up the book looking at this cover. What would you rate it?
I am going to give it a 7. I like it. The only thing that I think that pulls it down a little bit for me is that this being the early days of this coloring technique, I don't think it's quite there yet. I think Namor needs to stand out more, and his coloring makes him blend more into the background than it should. But again, I'm not mad at I'm not throwing shade, no pun intended, at the colorist. It's the early days of this coloring technique, and they just hadn't quite figured it out yet. I think he needs to stand out a little more than he does. I like the title, though. It's Namor versus New Warriors, using the fonts of the books across the top. I like that. It's clever. So yeah, I'm fond of it. But really, the only thing dragging it down for me is the new coloring technique, and nobody really knew how to do it yet. So it's a minor criticism.
If I were to critique, the only critique I would give, it looks like Nova's costume looks older, even though it's probably the modern one, just looks a little bit older. And Namor, like, it looks like, that, have you ever seen the bodybuilding pose where like they suck their gut all the way in, and like you could see like the complete
rib line?
That's what Namor looks like he's doing right now. And it's like he would have no reason to do that at all. Of course.
Yeah.
Then again, it is Namor. Like, maybe Namor.
And it darkens him, which again, it makes him blend in, and he needs to stand out. Like, coloring wise, Speedball stands out more than anybody's on the bottom right. That don't make no sense.
I also like Speedball in the not so corner
Yeah,
box.
the not so corner box is pretty nice.
Yeah, I think that's a great drawing. Let's see. A Comic Foil says, I'm not a Mike Manley fan. I like the layout, but his figure work isn't to my taste. I give it a 7. So there's that. Serpy Matt says, I give it an 8. Good image, but feels more like a splash page than a cover to me.
Yes. Good observation.
So yeah, there is that. And he then added, needs more feet wings. So maybe Mike Manley pulled a Rob Liefeld from back in the day and just covered up the feet. Even though like everyone always likes to see the wings on Namor's feet, because clearly those wings are what enable him to fly.
Clearly.
Anyway, you want to read the cover credits for the issue, Jarrod?
Nah.
Okay.
All right, I'll read them. This is New Warriors number 57. It's on sale date was January 24th, 1995. Delvin and I were like a scant 8 months away from meeting one another.
Yeah.
The cover date is March of 1995. The cover price is $6. The story is by Evan Skolnick. The pencils are by Patrick Zurcher. The inks are by Bruce Patterson, who I think goes on to play Batman in the most recent Batman movie.
Yes.
The colors is by Joe Rosas. The letters are John Costanza. And editor is Tom Brevoort. And that is all, as usual, thanks to Mike's Amazing World. Rest in peace, Mike. Delvin, I believe it is story synopsis time.
Almost. A couple of comments. Scott O'Neill came in. Said it's not his favorite cover, but he does love Mike Manley for his OG work on Dark Hawk. Heinz Cook says, gentlemen, good evening. Good evening, Heinz. And Kathy gave it an 8. Says, I prefer less busy. Jared's right about Namor blending in. And Scott then added that Namor stomped on Speedy with ankle wings. Speedy would have had Tommy feathers. That's funny.
That's an excellent observation.
Tommy feathers. That's very good, Scott. Let's see. I got to read a synopsis. The title of this book is Breaking Points. Basically, every character in the book makes a questionable decision, but I guess the important things to take away are that Night Thrasher and Rage have left the team, and Namor comes to beat up the rest. Let's talk about it. Jared's bringing up images. We're talking about those images in the story and anything else that comes up. What do you have first, Jarrod?
Before we get in the story, just so I don't forget to do it later, because we've made promises. Dance break.
Cover the legendary Q106.5 in your car, on your smart speaker, on your phone. Browse to Q1065.com. 80s, 90s. This is a radio station with a vibe. Download our app or listen online. Search at Q1065 Radio on social media. The Q is your favorite radio station. Discover Q106.5 and hear the 80s and 90s hits on the radio station with personality. Q106.5.
And really, if you're going to read a 90s book, Q106.5.
What about 80s book?
Sure, yeah. yeah, definitely. Oh, man, we love the Q106. Hey, and just so you guys know out there in live viewer land, I talked with the guy who runs Q106.5. His name is Rob. And he's informed me that not only is he adding new music to the roster and lineup of music that they stream, but he's also adding Christmas music. He'll start sprinkling that in after Thanksgiving. And then New Year's Eve, New Year's Day will be all Christmas music on Q106.5. All right. So let's talk about this comic.
Real quick, since, the last thing we'd ever want to do on the New Warriors podcast is talk about the comic book. To answer the question that a comic foil posed, he was asking, is anyone else seeing only the cover graphic? I lost visibility to Jarrod and Delvin completely. I mean, I know we're both handsome men, so like you would probably want to look at us, but there are 2 versions right now that I was given the option for. So apologize for the experimentation, because I had to do, it was recommended that I give both options. Like one was the horizontal and one was the vertical. You are looking at the vertical option. So as of right now, The only thing that is coming up or that will come up, I suppose, will be the cover and the images once Jarrod brings them up. So you will definitely be hearing our voices, as you can clearly hear. But unfortunately, unless you're looking at the horizontal version, you won't be able to see our faces.
But, your mileage might vary. So, hey. All right, let's get into it. I started with the double splash page. The opening page was almost a recreation of issue 1's opening page, except in this version, Nova was dangling Night Thrasher off of a roof. And then I went to the double splash page because what it's basically showing is this angst. And they're pretty angsty and angry because they're just back from their mission to Rwanda. And there's a lot of people upset because Chimera didn't make it back with them. They're not really sure what her fate is. And they're kind of taking that out on Thrasher for not being there. And that's pretty much where our story picks up. And I'll turn it over to Delvin for his thoughts.
What do you think about that? Because I definitely has thoughts, but I do want to know yours.
There's going to be a theme for me throughout this issue. I'll say that I like the mirror imaging they did with issue 1, where he's dangling him instead of the other way around. Yeah, clever, call back for the fans. I like that. But my theme for the issue is going to be, if I read this as a teenager, I'd be like, this is cool. But now that I read it as an older guy, just turned 49, who spent a big part of his career in leadership and communications training, there's like all the major sticking points and drama in this issue could really be solved with some decent conversation and communication, and none of that happens at any point in the story. But it doesn't make for great comics. I get it. So there's part of me that's like, okay, yeah, this is interesting in drama. But the other part of me is like, guys, just have a conversation. But here we are,
man. So you just brought up another thought of mine in my head that I keep prefacing. Okay, I'll stop. So the first thought, like, I did not like it. Like, I was like, this is BS. Why in the hell are they taking it out? Like, y'all the one that went to Rwanda and got y'all asses kicked. Nobody told y'all to do that. Like,
I don't even think he got an invitation.
He didn't. They were sitting around a doggone restaurant and they're like, we got to do something. Let's go back over to like Africa and they got their butts handed to them and then turned around and it was like, see, it's your fault, Thrash. It's like, huh? No. So I did not like that. But then, like, based off some of the words you said, I thought about how would we have handled that if we were 20 years old. How would we have handled that situation? Like, would we have handled this similarly? If you were Nova and I were Night Thrasher and you went somewhere and took like an enormous L and all your troops didn't come back, and then like the first person you saw was me and I'm like, hey guys, how's it going? It's like,
I don't know that I would have blamed you. I gotta be honest with you. I would have been like, dude, I effed up.
But you get what I'm saying. Like, could you assume that like someone, and again, Nova's more experienced, Night Thrasher, I'm gonna assume that these are gentlemen, young 20s, maybe, right? Like,
yeah, that's what I assumed. I always assume Nova's probably the oldest one, and he's probably 24.
Yeah. Like, and so these are two young men, like, and I do know, I mean, heck, that, sometimes young men, you have the energy to spend on things and you spend it on things that you definitely we wouldn't at this age. Like, if I went somewhere and like, you weren't even around and I went somewhere and foolishly took an L and lost a teammate or whatever, then like, if anything, I would expect you to be mad at me, not me to be mad at you, because I'm the one that put people in that situation. It was definitely complex. But as soon as I saw it, it's like, I got it, but I'm not a fan of Nova's behavior this entire episode. It was just like ridiculous and irresponsible, like how he acted the whole episode. And that was kind of just a 180 from how he's been acting recently. He's been basically very mature, admitting his faults, and he went back to that at the end of this episode. But to me, the thing that he should have done once he got his dang head back was to Thrash and Rage, dude, my bad. Like, I completely flew off the handle. Like, the woman I love is like missing in action. I don't know where she is, and I'm angry. And I took it out on you, and I shouldn't have, because like, you are a brother to me, and I'm sorry. And we didn't get that. And to me, I guess that's the thing that hurt me the most. Like, because he was like, we've never been a family. I'm like, that's not true. That's not true. Those are angry words that are being said. And it kind of, to me, demeaned the previous 56 issues of the Warriors.
I had some moments. Yes. It seemed there was a lot of drama for drama's sake.
It definitely seemed like, that Evan, and I'd have to ask Mr. Skolnick himself about this, but it seemed like he definitely wanted to set a direction for the book, and that direction of the book for the main team is going to be without Night Thrasher and Rage. But that's tough to me. That's so tough, because I just felt like, especially at issue 50, that all of them, had merged together, so there's that. Like, just one comment, I'll search for some other ones. Scott was saying Nova's been living in the crash pad. He's living in Thrash's property rent free, and they ain't family. Great point, Scott. Like, so yeah, a part of me just really, 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 really did not agree with that. So, and Scott also adds, after the whole Transabal thing, they also should have known it was a stupid, risky thing to do. Clearly, they knew the risk. They had to know the risk. And they just, I wouldn't say that, I understand, they wanted to try to make a difference. They're like, we're just sitting there on our butts. We're seeing Air Force go out and do these things. And like, we should be out doing things too. If this team of former mercenaries can do good by the world, we should too. I get it, but like, they made that decision completely independent of Thrash. I think maybe a little bit of better writing would have been had they checked in with Thrash, and Thrash may have said something like, okay, I see where you guys are going, I'll join you there. And then he got busy and didn't. Like, then you could have put some blame on Thrash.
Or for him to say, I didn't sign up for that. I've got my own things to do. You're on your own. See you when you get back.
And right. And he kind of spoke to that point. At least it's like, how are you blaming me? I wasn't even there. And he's like, well, maybe you could have helped if you were there. It's like, what could they have done? Like, could he have skateboarded on the sand? No. Obviously, the page got me in my feels, and that's a good thing.
I felt the same way. Like I said, this is an easy conversation. It seemed like drama for drama's sake, and I've got a couple more pages where it's all blending together, so it doesn't matter. I just went on to the next page. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Another thing that bothered me is you have a group of like, I don't know, 8, 9, I don't know, I didn't count them, how many people are here, and not a single one of them was like, okay, we're being ridiculous. Everybody calm down for just a minute. Let's all go inside, get something to eat.
Firestar did for 1 second. Firestar tried to be the voice of reason, and NAMOR shouted her down. And so as soon as, I almost said Marvel Boy, the heck, his mama called him Marvel Boy. No, Justice said, well, you're an excellent strategy guy, Thrash, but you're not a team player. I'm with him. As soon as Justice made that decision, Firestar was like, I'm going with my man. Like, and I don't even think she said another word after that. And so she did have agency. I'm not worried. I'm not even going to touch on that subject. She had agency. She chose to go with her man. And a lot of times, a woman will choose to back the decision of her man, and vice versa, by the way. So like, I understood that. And they didn't let Turbo say anything, but Turbo went ahead and said, no, I'm with Nova, which also makes sense because Nova kind of helped mentor her. So And like Speedy making that decision was kind of the toughest one to me. But like, yeah, I understand why things went the way that they did since it was set up that way, but definitely not the hugest fan of the setup.
Concur. I concur. For those of you struggling in the chat and those of you listening on the podcast version, this doesn't mean anything to you. But yeah, we've definitely figured out that there's 2 streams going. If you look on the web page, I can't speak for if you're not on the device. If you look via the web page, they look almost identical, except the end of the title, one of them has a little handheld device right after it says episode 57. Apparently, that's the one that most people are not enjoying. So if you want that standard look, just go into the YouTube and click on the one that doesn't have the handheld device, because if you go to the long box page, there'll be 2 live streams going, and grab the one that doesn't have the long box. Because I'm also hearing that people, like, you're not seeing the comments for the people who are in the other room, and
we'll work on it in the future.
We'll work on it.
Absolutely.
It's just a new thing, and we don't like it, but we'll figure it out. Thanks for hanging in there with us. Let me continue with our discussion. And my next page was that tough moment for Speedball and Rage, being best friends, not wanting to split. I'm not certain why Rage has such strong loyalty to, I guess sort of the Nova to Turbo relationship is not unlike the Rage and Night Thrasher relationship of mentorship, I suppose.
Well, remember that after Rage's grandmother died, and Rage, the gang lord, that Night Thrasher stood up for him and then basically adopted him as his own son. Like that's like that he or not his son, as his ward.
Do they mind that more in the Night Thrasher series? Because I don't remember seeing that here. Or it may have just been when I missed an issue or something.
Oh man, it's all blended. I know at some point it could have been, but like I don't know. Like here it is. Like Scott kind of agrees with you, by the way. He says this made no sense. Speedy has always been closer to Thrash and Rage than he was to the others. If I were to make sense of it, this is me playing devil's advocate here, is that, Speedy did go through the fire with them on this adventure. So it's possible that he could be feeling some sort of way about that. That's all I got. Like, I'm not saying it's the strongest defense, but I'm only putting up a possible defense to why Speedy may have thought the way that he did. Because I definitely understand Rage. Like Rage is, Rage and Thrash are boys, like, and not only just boys, but like Thrash literally took him under his wing as far as like adopting him and making sure that he would have a family. So I get that. Scott also helped you out, Jarrod, and said it was in New Warriors. Derek Robertson had that amazing double page spread at the cemetery where Rage broke down crying. No dialogue, and no dialogue was needed.
I remember that. Okay. But I think at the end of the day, Delvin, this whole split up the team, it contrived. It feels a little contrived. It does. And you had mentioned to me many episodes ago and sprinkled in here and there that this book sort of becomes a Nova book. And so I'm reading this going, okay, I think I see what's going on here. I think maybe Skolnick wanted to take it that direction. Maybe Marvel wants to take it that direction because Night Thrasher's solo book is kind of doing well at this point. So, and just, I'm not mad about it, but it has a contrivance feel to it.
You know how I am, like, especially, since very broad phrase that I'm about to say here, this is my book. And like, and you're coming on, and so you have your thoughts as a newcomer, and I can try and maybe like, okay, let me frame it this way. I don't have a defense on that. I don't, because I agree. I simply agree. When I read it and saw this, I almost thought that there was an issue in between 56 and 57 that I missed. Because it just started out where like you got Nova, and again it was iconic enough picture having them over the ledge of a building, or in this case a crash pad, but like to all of a sudden now turn around is like, oh, I'm mad that you did that. Like, are you? Are you now mad at it? Yeah.
All right. I'll bring up the next page. We check in with the Powers family of the Power Pack. A little bit of drama there. It's more of a check-in moment with them. Basically, Alex has taken the powers of the younger ones, and now he's not wanting to give them back. He's had this something of an epiphany from the Rwanda experiment that, like, hey, this thing that we've been doing has kind of been fun and kitschy can be very, very dark and dangerous. And I don't know that you guys necessarily need to be doing that. So he's making their decisions for them. As the older brother, it's wise. Of course, as younger kids, they will not understand and rebel. And that's where we are with the Power Pack.
So what do you think about that? Because I have my thoughts on that too.
that part makes sense the way he's written it. The only thing that kind of leapt out of my mind was like, well, I guess there's not a Power Pack series right now. The one that they cover, like on Unpacking Power, the Power Pack from the 80s, is probably ended by now. And I think they're probably in limbo because this seems like something that would be covered in the main book. But I'm like, I don't know if there's a main book running. It seemed a little more than what you would do with characters if you were just borrowing them.
Yeah.
So that was really the only thought. I don't have a passionate feeling either way about it.
I disagree with Alex. And while I don't know what ominous portend that his brother, you got that one eye, ball, and he's like, we'll see, bro, so there's something that's going to be going on there. I don't think anything like, one bro's trying to kill the other bro or anything, but the reason why I disagree with it, I do understand where Alex is coming from, but all four of them have been in the mix before. I mean, heck, they have fought on different planets and worlds. These children have used their powers to save lives. And not just, these cutesy adventures. They were involved in some pretty serious things. Now, obviously, I'm not the expert, but they have, at this point, they had been through the mix together. So for him to just all of a sudden make the decision on his own and not involve his siblings, his teammates with them, that comes across as a pretty selfish thing to do to me. Because he even mentioned at the start, I was like, well, I got to hang with the teenagers and they think I'm cool. And I like feeling cool. And it's like, you like feeling cool at the expense of your literal brothers and sisters? I don't like that. That's not cool, Alex. Not a huge fan. I'm just not a big fan of that decision. I'm not hugely swayed in either direction though, because like we talked about, how old is Alex? 15 maybe? Yeah.
And so it doesn't seem like out of character for a 15-year-old who's experienced some real darkness for once, and he's like, oh, I am not going to expose my little brother and little sister to this. I got to seriously rethink what we're doing. So from that point, I get it. But I don't have a background in Power Pack, so I don't know what they've been through up to this point. Me neither. I need someone in the chat maybe who knows a lot about Power Pack to tell us, is this the first real stuff Alex has ever seen? Go to Rwanda today and it's going to be real. So
for real. Yes, sir. Absolutely. A few comments, by the way. Scott mentions best part of this page is Rocket Raccoon cameo in the top panel. I did not see that. I did. See him now. I was like, is that Rocket?
Is that a plushie? Is that what that is?
Yeah. Looks like just like a beanie baby almost. Matt says he wants the powers almost like a drug allegory, but with safety reversed. A Comic Foil mentions the 2-page Power Pack exchange is probably the best part of the book. Actually felt like it had some drama that is impactful to the future.
And not overly forced drama. It didn't feel contrived like the previous scene.
Yeah, and had a few issues of buildup too, because in order to go to the Rwandan adventure, Alex took the powers from the two girls, but Jack was like, nope, you ain't taking mine. But then clearly he got the jump on him. All he needed to do was touch him to take his powers and did, which Jack absolutely didn't like. Someone might get this reference. I did not watch Mighty Ducks 3, so I won't. But he says it's giving Adam Banks ghosting the other Ducks after making Varsity and Mighty Ducks 3. I didn't even know there were 3 Mighty Ducks.
I didn't know they got to a third one. I was vaguely aware of a second one.
And then Scott also adds that they're older and they like cool things. You guys are little kids and still like ElfQuest.
Whoa. Oh, everybody calm down. We don't need them coming after us again.
I better stop. I've given enough information about myself that I'm going to be walking at work as like, excuse me, sir, are you Delvin Williams? Yeah, I am.
It's going to light up on you on a wolf. Oh, crap.
Think because we're ElfQuest fans, we can't start some ish. My bad, bro. I'm sorry. Let's keep going.
Everybody in the chat, leave the ElfQuest fans alone. Oh, good idea. Let's move on. Next page.
Scott does add, as a kid brother, I can verify that Jack's intent on petty vengeance is on brand for younger brothers. Well, Jarrod and I now, we have for a decent amount or a few years in our lives, me more than Jarrod were the younger brother. Like I grew up in a household that my brother was older than me by 4 years, and Jarrod same thing, 5 years. So, and then a few years later, he had a little sister. And then like some years later, I found out about, I have a half sister or 2 half sisters and I have a half brother, 2 more brothers and sisters. So now I am like an older brother, but it took a minute, but I know the perspective of being a younger sibling for sure. Mm-hmm. A comic foil helps you out, Jarrod, with the Power Pack knowledge. It says Power Pack has faced down killer aliens, Sabretooth, dark elves, superpowered drug dealers, sentinels, and survived Inferno. It was a lot. So they've seen literal demons and Sabretooth. Sabretooth at one point, I mean, we're about to get to that point in the X-Men lore where he basically was about to off like Jubilee or something and told like Wolverine was like, if you don't pop a claw in my brain, I'm gonna off her, and Wolverine was like, Snake. Then it went to Age of Apocalypse.
Well, Wolverine didn't need any convincing.
He was trying to be good. He's like, no, I'm facing my demons. I don't want to be this guy. And Sabretooth's like, you gonna be this guy. Anyway, here we go. We're at the Namor.
We've come to the Namor phase of the book, which told you there'd be a theme of maturity and discussion. And you mentioned it at the front. You're like, there's a version of Namor that's very mentor-like, wise, sage, kingdom of the bottom of the sea kind of guy.
Yep.
Nah, he does not appear in this book. I'll give him a little credit. It still feels a little contrived, but I'll give him a little credit because he was basically like, Skolnick was basically like, well, he's got a lot going on in his own book. So we'll put him under a lot of stress and pressure. And I'm like, all right. And it's not, I'll be fair, it's not out of character for Namor to be a little Namor-y.
Nope.
Just not necessarily in this era, but I'll cut him the slack. He kind of went back to his old ways because he's under a lot of stress. But, I mean, he's pretty angry, right? He's angry because he's like, all right, so y'all came back from this. The only person missing is my cousin. This is a bunch of BS. And then Nova's like, we did all we could. In fact, I'm going to show you how I did it. Whap! And I'm just like, you are really dumb. You are like, really? This is one of the most powerful dudes on the planet, and you decided to show him some stuff. Interesting move, but yeah, they're both just being idiots. A lot of bad communication going on here, but high drama.
See, I at least get this. I do, in that, like, I wish I knew exactly what happened in Namor in his book, because I don't know. But like he was like you mentioned, he was under some stress, and then like you had the line Nova, the Atlantean intruder. That's funny. The line that Namor said that tripped me out. Like, Nova's all like, you say one more word, it's like, what, you're gonna throw a baby tantrum?
What are you gonna do, Nova? What are you going to do to me?
Oh my goodness. That line alone was hilarious to me. and you could see the build up. And in this case, I actually would be upset too, because Justice did the magnanimous things. Like, look, we got to let you know, like, that NAMOR is missing. We have to. We don't know where she is. Like, and we're going to show you what happened. And they're watching this mixtape of them getting their asses beat. Which
was like, huh.
And they were like, see, y'all suck. Why did I even let y'all even take my cousin in? Y'all can't even fight. What's going on? Like, and so I can understand why Nova, who was already ticked, would be ticked-er.
Yeah.
That Namor is sitting there basically just literally like, where, hold up, is that button? Is it here? I'm just gonna press it, see what happens. Like, so I did get it. I didn't think this was as contrived as the split up between Nova and Night Thrasher.
Well, we haven't gotten to the contriviest of contrivous parts. Like I said, I'll let this one slide because Namor is known to be under pressure, not the greatest decision maker. He leads with emotion a little too often, as he does here. But I think it's worth mentioning that I also selected this page because that's a hell of a splash page from Searcher. It's really
it
good.
is. Before you switch, hello to Jim Neal, who comes on and says, Namor under stress and gets angry. Say it ain't so. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We'll get to the part that I feel is more contriving here in just a second. Another great splash page. I pretty much picked it for its artistic splash page. The fight goes on. We'll talk about how it ends up momentarily. I just picked this one in the middle because it was cool, energy-filled action page of like, I like it because not only is Namor like, Nova was like, F you, and Namor was like, no, F you. And I like that he's doing that, but I also like that, like, I'm a Nova fan. He's literally punching above his weight class right now, but man, he don't care. He is Rocky fighting Drago, or however you want to look at it. He's like, I don't care how big you are, I don't care how bad you are, we're gonna fight. And I just thought good energy on this page.
Yeah, and the only thing I disagreed with is that, like, Vance a couple of times was like, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. And even now it's like, dude, Nova, calm down. And Nova's like, not until he does. And Justin's like, good point. No, it wasn't.
No, it was not. You know what a great use of your abilities would have been? To put a wall between the two of them and be like, everybody chill out.
Yes.
The main thing here is to find Nita. This is not going to help us find her.
Yes.
But he was like, now let's fight. Again, contrivances. And then we get to what I feel is probably the biggest contrivance. It did put them out of order. I apologize. The biggest contrivance of all. And like, this is where I rolled my eyes a little like, okay, yes, the New Warriors defeated Namor. And that's cool. And they have the ability to do that. I'm not mad about that. But this is where I felt like, I was like, I think Skolnick just wanted to show the New Warriors defeat somebody really cool to sort of up their value. Because what's the point of all this, right? You get great action splash pages. Again, I have to look at it through a lens of if we were teenagers collecting this book, right? This would be more exciting. As a grown man, I want to see people solve things through conversation, which doesn't make for great comics. But not only did I like that they defeated him, I like how they did it. Like the secret weapon here is Firestar all day, and they exploited that big time. And then when Namor did have his opportunity, because he went outside, I wasn't able to show this page, but it's a thunderstorm outside, so he's soaking up water. And Justice is like, oh no, you're not, because he pitches a big umbrella over the whole thing, so he can't get water while Firestar is dehydrating him. Perfect combo. They even found a way to make Turbo like, oh, I'm gonna punch him into the ground. So I did feel like there was a contrivance there. I want a really cool moment for my team. I want to show them beating somebody tough, and they chose Namor. Okay, it was good tactics, so I like the way it happened, and I like that last panel. You know how dudes are after they're done fighting. Let's be friends. Let me help you up. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, post-fight clarity, as it were. Yeah, like, so I didn't see it. Like, this is where I'll disagree in that I don't think it was a contrivance. I think that it was a well-constructed fight. in that like the main drivers were once he got involved in the fight because he had to Justice and his telekinesis, like the creating the umbrella to stop the water from getting to him, to stop him from continually replenishing his prodigious power was brilliant. That was an excellent strategy. And Firestar, of course, fire and water, no more needs to be said to that. And then for Turbo to finally come in and just like, I'm going to go way up in the air and I'm going to zoom down as fast as I can and smack the crap out of them. Like,
that is an interesting decision from a relatively new hero. If I'm relatively new and I kind of have this power to like fly fast, oh, she has some sort of a force projection. I don't know. I would just be like, I'll let y'all handle this NAMOR thing.
Well, see, the funny
he's an awfully big boy. Sure
enough, though, like Hindsight Lab was like, I'm out of here.
It's like, what the hell?
I ain't sticking around for this. Like, hell no. Like, good job, Carlton. Carlton's like the ultimate warrior already.
Yeah. There are a lot of pieces of, like you're saying, tactically, there are a lot of pieces of this fight that I like. So I agree with you on that.
Let's see. We got a couple of comments. A comic full with the 80s, 90s knowledge here. He says, actually, at this point, NAMOR had his past emotional instability diagnosed to his needing to spend an equal amount of time in water and on land. He should have been the calm one. Again, I wish I knew, like they hinted that some events happened in this time frame, but they should have at least explained it a little bit, because they're just
like a clue, because I read these NAMOR books and I'm not sure where the overlap is.
say the issue, like say the issue arc.
Yeah, yes. I probably would have looked at it and went, this is when but I don't know where the overlap is.
Yeah, yep, agree. And Scott does give some good perspective, and I do agree with this. He's like, Nova might not be out of his weight class. After his power upgrade in the Star Lost storyline in issue 40, that led into Nova's new ongoing, and in the first issue of that, he held his own against Gladiator. He can hold his own against Gladiator. He can hold his own against Namor for sure.
I didn't realize he'd gotten an upgrade. I got to really start reading these comics, I suppose.
Yeah.
Not while we got our chat to bear. Help me out.
A comic full also adds Turbo's dive bomb on the prior page to this one should have looked much cooler. Zurcher was still developing as an artist. I thought it was pretty good personally, but like I'm not disagreeing with you at all, comic full.
Wait, help me out then, chat. Because is her only ability to like fly fast? Because that would make no sense for her to go that full speed into a dude like Namor, because that would kill her.
Well, she has the torpedo armor.
So the armor gives her a resilience.
Yeah, I can't fully explain it, but I'm sure someone else could do a better job. But like she can project herself with like wind force, or like just turbine. She could use those as percussive force. In this case, she just used the entirety of her armor plus percussive force to dive bomb into Namor.
Okay, I'm okay with that. I just was like, again, a lot of my knowledge, this goes back to Torpedo, and I'm pretty sure he just flew around fast. So there may be some sort of upgrade once again that I missed, because I should probably read these books, but I got the chat.
Flew around fast and died to dire race. All right.
Something like that. Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened to him. So yeah, I was just like, I don't know if I'd fly full speed into Namor.
Yeah, that would
smaller,
that
tight
would be
face.
Yeah, that would be like hitting a brick wall, and which is exactly why Carlton straight up was like,
deuces.
Nope. My strategy is to run and to not fight Namor.
He was like, yo, this is a Black and Decker piece. That's what he was like.
Scott O'Neill says there's more to her, but I don't want to spoil it. Skolnick loved this character. Pitched her for years, and Fabian introduced her to the New Warriors because of him. She's gonna get some spotlight.
Tantalizing.
And Comic Full says, I don't think she actually physically touched Namor there. I think she built up her jets to full power during the dive bomb and unleashed that force.
I feel that too. Yeah, that's fair. I think I remember seeing that. I really need to read these books.
We're about done, aren't we?
We are. Next page is the last page. Whoop. And it's there's not much to it. It's just basically Richard Rider's still sad. I like the fact that he sort of thought about his other girlfriend, because this entire time he's been like, I love Namorita. I've been like, well, your other girlfriend. And he kind of talks about that in his, I think in the thought bubbles, it's like, well, it's her, but she only knows Rich Rider. Namorita loves me as I really am. It's kind of like Catwoman really loving Batman. He's attracted to that because he's not attracted to women who like Bruce Wayne, because that's not who he is. So I feel like that's kind of what's going on here, and that's really it.
In the interest of time, and that I fully agree with you, nothing to add. They kind of left it open, and we will see what happens in the future. It's definitely not going to get any less hairier for the Warriors, that's for sure. Even though, I remember just a very, 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 very little amount about next issue. I know it involves Sabra.
I'll probably read it and then probably forget half of it so that the chat can bail me out in the next discussion.
We got a good chat.
We have a great chat. I love you guys. You guys are great.
Let's talk about Warrior, shall we?
All right. I'm sure I have a banner for that. And go ahead. You tell me, man.
Whoo. Everybody feel free to speak up about who is the Ultimate Warrior. We will read those comments. I know who I'm worried about. I'm worried about Namor, because Namor acted like a jackass the whole book.
It's on brand for him.
But I guess I was disappointed because he had turned a leaf. And if you're going to basically put a line in the sand and say you're going to follow him or you're going to follow me, you can't then turn around and act like an impulsive jackass that got you into trouble in the first place.
I'm gonna fight him.
I want to be Namor. Like, he gonna hit me like, and I'm gonna hit him like, and I'm like, I'm gonna win that one. So and then he punched Namor in there in the rain. What did he think was gonna happen? So I'm worried about Namor. Worried about Nova. Was not a fan of Nova's whole thing. Warrior, I'll leave it at Carlton, because Carlton just walked away.
Discretion is the better part of valor.
Discretion absolutely was get out. I'm done. I'm freaking peaced out. What do you think?
Warrior, I'll go with Nita. We're all worried about Nita.
Yeah.
Warrior, you know what? I'll give it to Vance. Very clever. Firestar was getting the better of him, as she should, microwaving him and dehydrating him. Luckily for him, it was storming outside, which is sort of balancing that, and he was quick to think strategically and say, how can I solve this problem? And he did. He's the reason they defeated Namor.
Agreed with that. And we got a few comments, of course. Appreciate you guys chiming in as always. Comic Full says, Warrior, Firestar controlled her power to boil off Namor's moisture twice without actually harming him or worrying about harming him. That's true. Because she even mentioned, is like, I can turn this up. Like, we are sparing. I'm sparing you right now.
I have thoughts on that too.
Go ahead.
On that too. Like, yes. And that probably would have won the day for her. But with a dude like Namor, I don't fool around with probably. If she started to hurt him, what if he started to cut loose? You never know how that's gonna go. So I do agree that ultimately her power set is great for defeating him, and I think she would have won. But if she actually hurt him, and he thought he was gonna die, he might have started killing some of them kids with that power level.
Yeah. And and it is fair to say, as Carlton very so, like, this dude's gone toe to toe with the Hulk.
If anybody needs me, I will be elsewhere.
Out in the rain with an umbrella somewhere, but safe and not with a super villain bearing down my neck. Serpy Matt says, Warrior, agree with Firestar. She could have cooked that fish stick. And worried about Nita for sure, because we don't know where she is. And I don't remember how she comes back. So that's going to be new to me. I sometimes, like I'll do with Pat over in Transformers Chronicles, I'm like, is this person dead? When they coming back? Like, I'm pretty sure she's coming back, but
1995, buddy. I don't know.
But when? Yeah, I don't know. So we will be finding that out together. Scott O'Neill says Warrior is Nova based on his behavior. He likely needs therapy, anger management, and a new apartment. And possibly a hug. And he ain't got nobody to hug him because his girlfriend's gone. And Jim just gave a nice sentiment and says, not sure you two are the ultimate warrior, but since today is Veterans Day, I want to thank you both for serving our nation. I will gladly accept that. Thank you very much, Jim. And just to any veteran listening, thank you very much for your service and what you have done for this nation. Let's rate the book, Jarrod. 1 to 10.
All right.
If you want to rate it, let's go ahead and get some of the ratings in the comments too.
I'll pull up the banner while you give your rating.
Okay. It generated discussion. Like I always have to remember that. Like, and so if it generated discussion and it made me feel something, that is good. That's really good. And for better or for worse, Evan Skolnick is like, I am setting up this book the way that I wanted to. Scott, I saw your comment earlier about like the new demographic of the team. I'm not disagreeing with it. I don't know. That's all I got. I don't know on that. It was a good book. The fight with Namor was good. It had a good outcome to where like, you know, they finally got all of the doggone testosterone and venom out their system and were able to talk. And they even mentioned at the end that Namor is going to pool his assets with the Warriors to help them find Nita. So hopefully that happens sooner or later. Some good things, and we got a new direction for the book. I'll give it an 8. Like my first thought was like a 6 or 7, but the discussion that we generated, plus just a little bit of reflection, I'll leave it at that 8 level. What do you think?
Yeah, I was at a 7 as well. I'm a Namor fanboy. I'm glad he was there. There's some contrivances I wasn't a big fan of, but did generate discussion, and I'm interested to see what happens next. So I'm happy staying at a 7. Not a problem. Not a problem.
Cool. Matt gave it an 8. Scott O'Neill said a 7. Liked it more as a kid, but as an adult, I see more as everyone acting in ways that don't line up with the last few years of established behavior. I agree. And a comic full says not bad, but not great. Some moments, but lackluster as a whole. Given so much time to Namor, I will give it a 7. If any other comments come up before I close it out, I will make sure to read them. But for now, everyone, that's the show. We're right at the hour where I like to be. Please come back and join us for the next episode where we discuss New Warriors 58, where we see the Warriors have to protect an Israeli official, and I'm sure that's going to go well, right?
No problems.
If you want to hear more from us, y'all, Longbox Crusade, we're around after the podcast world, or you check out the Longbox Crusade feed, you will find us. Can you sort out Come Out to Play separately, Jarrod, on the feed?
I don't think it has its own channel. I'd have to ask Pat that because I was stunned to find out my Indiana Jones show had its own channel recently. So yeah. I don't think it does, but yeah, that's a Pat question.
Yeah. So like you might be able to search for Come Out to Play.
You can always search for it and it'll show you those. Yeah. It
probably will just show the individual ones, but we love if you join Longbox Crusade and did a like and subscribe, especially on YouTube. We love for your like and subscribe. Every comment that you make helps us out a ton. It exposes us to more of people that might want to see New Warriors content.
And the ElfQuest audience.
and the ElfQuest audience, which I might have to wear a cloak of invisibility to protect myself if I keep up with these comments. Anyway, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you look up Longbox Crusade, we are there. Patreon, we have a Crusaders Club, $1 a month. We give away stuff, y'all. You would want to join in. Free content there on the Patreon feed as well. YouTube as well, as I've already discussed. And you can email us at contact@longboxcrusade.com. And a phone number too. I don't think we've gotten a message yet for New Warriors. I would love to play one live on the show, just like we did the Q106.5 ad. 707-532-5269. That is 707-532-LBOX. Pick up the phone.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was working banners. Pick up the phone.
It's okay. You're busy. It's scrolling across.
Dang it. I was
trying
to predict the next banner I was going to click.
You are fine. You're
episode
fine.
58. I'll have it right. I promise.
58. We'll get it right after. Oh, man, we're closing in on 5 years of doing this, dude. Right. Anyway, Jarrod, where can you be found online?
All right, I'm at Yard Sale Artist on X, Facebook, and Instagram. It's all at Yard Sale Artist. And I want to say two things. Thank you for all you guys' kind words for us on Veterans Day. It was my greatest honor to serve. And second, I mean all those kind of things I said about y'all in the chat. There are plenty of chats out there where if a host doesn't know or messes something up, the chat jumps all over him and makes him feel like a jerk. And y'all don't do that. So thank you.
Yeah. I mean, if you did, I'd just look at the comment and just ignore you and keep talking.
Yeah, we'd just block you, but because we're petty like that. But
yeah, but you're right. Like, we have had a great chat feed overall. Like, I seriously do appreciate y'all. Thank you very much. And I also echo the sentiments for Jarrod about serving. Those 15 years and 4 months went by rapidly, and it's crazy now that that's 10 years.
Shut up! Shut your mouth! Shut your mouth.
Dude, I apologize for saying it. I don't get it. Just like you're like, yo, hey, we met each other later that year. It's like, that was 30 years. Woosah. You can find me on Threads or Instagram at Delvin Ray. I float around sometimes on Blue Sky still. DEERAY 1977. See you all next time. And remember to be a hero to someone, even if it's just yourself. Till next month, ladies and gentlemen. New Warriors, come out to play and have a good night. Last comment, Scott says, gonna call and leave a voicemail about Jarrod not being there last month. He's a great strategist, but night, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.